Spoiler alert, the Bose QuietComfort True Wireless Earbuds have the best ANC in all of the high-end true wireless earbuds out there to date. But what about sound quality, mic quality, battery life? How do they stack up against other options at this price? Well, I'll be imparting all the wisdom on these, then dropping my final score out of 10 at the end, so don't skip the video. Check the affiliate links in the description below so you can check the latest price on these, as you never know when it might drop. I bought these with my own money, but to be honest, I'm a little hesitant to tell you to do the same. Let me explain. Hey guys, it's Mark here. Hope you're all staying home and staying safe and healthy. I'm back with some more audio tech in my quest to sort the God tier from the garbage and let you know what's worth buying before you buy it. Here's the main headlines today. For $250, you're getting industry-leading ANC, Bluetooth 5.1 and IPX5 waterproof rating, wireless charging, USB-C charging, and support from the Bose Music app. Let's kick things off by quickly looking at build quality and design. Now, when it comes to build quality especially, I've got to say, I expected better from Bose. I mean, the case especially, and size aside, because we'll get to that in just a sec, it feels almost identical to some of the cheapest earbuds I've ever reviewed. It's way too plasticky for this price, with zero frills at all. Honestly, it must have taken so little time to design this, or at least I hope it did. The overall shape of the case isn't going to upset anyone, but it's incredibly generic. I mean, compare these to the fabric finish of the Sennheiser Momentum 2s, and they are worlds apart in terms of design and build. The push button that opens the lid, I like it, but unless you press it very firmly, right square in the middle, not to the left, not to the right, and it is a pretty wide button, the lid won't open. Please slap the like button to help me open these so I can continue this review. The earbuds don't do Bose many favours either, with a similar finish on the external side and a glossy finish on the back, which only makes them more slippery and easier to drop. The size of the case and buds are larger than average. The case is actually on par with budget buds that push out 100 hours of battery life, yet battery life figures are embarrassingly low by comparison. Stay tuned for those. Larger scale buds are okay, they're becoming more and more acceptable, even though to me, it feels like a little bit of a step backwards if I'm honest, but only if they can justify their size with exceptional sound quality. So no, I'm not going to deduct points here for the size of the earbuds. I just want you to be fully aware that these earbuds sit completely out of your ears, and that's not necessarily the best look on all people in my opinion. Let's just hope Bose can justify the size when it comes to sound quality. Wow, I just realised I didn't even mention one positive thing here, which does go to explain why I'm about to drop a 6 out of 10, which is fairly generous in my opinion, in terms of build and design. Now, if these weren't so expensive, maybe I wouldn't be so harsh, but simply compared to the other options out there, these are definitely one of the worst in terms of bang for your buck when it comes to pure aesthetics. Build quality and design is adequate, and that's the best compliment I can squeeze out. Sorry, Bose. Things don't improve much when we get to battery life either, with 6 hours playback in a single sitting and just 18 hours of battery life overall. We do have quick charging here, netting you 2 hours playback from 15 minutes of charging, which does help to soften the blow a little. But when that charging case is larger than average by a noticeable amount, how on earth are the battery life figures here so low? I'm just going to drop a 5 out of 10 for battery life with no more elaboration other than this. The Momentum 2s offer 28 hours playback overall. Sony's ANC buds offer 32 hours. That is all. But what about fit and comfort? In terms of fit, Bose have nailed it with the addition of oversized wingtips, which do a fantastic job of keeping the buds securely anchored in your ears. So yeah, they're absolutely perfect for even the most intensive workouts with no danger of falling out. Comfort, however, is a debatable subject, which is odd since it's in the name of the product. I experienced ear fatigue after about 30 to 45 minutes listening, just where the wingtips make contact with your ear. So yes, they make them more secure, but also slightly less comfortable as a result. But even still, I'm gonna drop a 7 out of 10 for fit and comfort, purely because a secure fit is higher on my agenda over comfort, and they fit very well. But maybe these should have just been called the Quiet Sport 2 instead. Hey, what's up guys? It's time for another microphone test of the Bose QuietComfort Earbuds. How does my voice sound? There's a lot of cars going past at the moment. Can you hear my voice over that background noise? Let me know in the comments below. As for me, I enjoy doing these microphone tests because it's pretty much the only time I leave the house at the moment. But that's beside the point. Let's get back to the studio and hear my final verdict and final score. The overall clarity on my voice was decent, noticeably better than on the likes of the Momentum 2s, and the background noise reduction was clearly working hard to eliminate all those lower frequency sounds of the traffic. So that's going to be a 7 out of 10 for mic quality. It's decent and my voice is audible at all times, and that's what's important, but I'm sure you will agree that it could definitely be better. Though we've got Bluetooth 5.1, you're unfortunately only looking at SBC and AAC in terms of audio codec support, not what I'd expect at this price point at all, especially considering I just reviewed a pair of $80 buds that feature aptX Adaptive. Sony's ANC buds support LDAC, the Momentum 2s have aptX at the very least, both meaning reduced audiovisual lag, especially for smartphone gaming, and better support for higher quality audio files. For a pair of high-end buds released in late 2020, I'd be expecting aptX here at the very least, so that's disappointing, though not a massive deal breaker for your average consumer, as Netflix and YouTube will both compensate for that audiovisual lag anyway. However, for smartphone gaming, the delay is pretty savage. Bluetooth connection, on the other hand, has been solid, with great overall range throughout my testing as expected. Sadly, we're lacking what even $40 true wireless earbuds manage: volume controls on the earbuds themselves. In fact, the overall touch control experience here is very limited, without any ability to customize the touch controls beyond enabling a shortcut that simply allows you to skip tracks forward, not back, or you can set it to announce the battery level, and that's it. Finally, something I can praise these buds for unconditionally. The ANC on the QuietComfort buds is quite simply the best you will find in true wireless earbuds, and yep, even better than Sony's ANC buds. You've got 11 adjustable levels of ANC here, but my only gripe is that when adjusting the ANC levels via the touch controls, there's no voice prompt to confirm the ANC level you've just activated. Transparency mode, which allows you to hear your surroundings with the earbuds in, is activated at lower ANC levels 0 to 5, with its intensity reducing as you increase the ANC level. But unless you're in an incredibly noisy environment, it's very hard to know whether you're at 0% ANC, where transparency mode is 100% enabled, or at 50% ANC, where transparency mode is at its weakest, because there's no voice prompt to confirm what's happening. But even still, that gripe can't take anything away from what will be the best ANC in true wireless earbuds for a long time, which I'd give a full 10 out of 10 for, in case you're wondering. The support of the Bose Music app is expected at this price point, but actually it's very sparse in terms of its features, to the point where you'd never really need to launch it beyond setting up your buds. No custom equalizer settings, no equalizer presets, no customizable touch controls, just the ability to turn on auto pause and play and adjust how much of your voice you can hear on calls. There's no multi-point pairing on these either, so yes, you still have to manually disconnect from one device before you can use these with another. Again, I'd expect better for the price, especially from Bose, who have already mastered this in their ANC headphones. ANC definitely saves the day here for the QuietComfort buds, but the overall usability and functionality is pretty poor value for money when you think about it. So I'm going to drop a 7 out of 10 here, with my pristine 10 out of 10 ANC score getting dragged down by a lack of features that you'd easily find in other options at this price. Now, before we talk sound quality, go follow me on my personal Instagram or Twitter for a little bit of an insight into life on lockdown here in the UK. I'll throw links to those in the description below. Don't forget to comment below what I should review next, because in case you didn't know, you guys decide what review comes next, because the comments with the most likes, most thumbs up will definitely be added to my review hit list. Okay folks, it's time for sound quality, so slap the like button right in the middle, not to the left, not to the right, very firmly, and let's do this. When it comes to sound quality, you're getting exactly what you'd expect from Bose at this price point: punchy bass, yet with a sound signature that prioritizes mids and vocals at all times, and fortunately, it does this really damn well. Bass still offers excellent thump and rumble, and whilst a little less present in the mix than Sony's ANC buds, it's also pleasantly less boomy as a result. As you would expect, the mid-range performance here is excellent, and most definitely the QuietComfort Buds' strong point. Vocals remain clean, present, and detailed no matter what you throw at these, remaining in the driving seat at all times. Highs are a tad pushed back in the mix, though still manage to offer superb clarity and sparkle. The treble offers a far superior experience to the likes of the Momentum 2s, where the highs were a little more present but sounded somewhat one-dimensional and thin by comparison. When it comes to soundstage, the Bose buds are much more on par with Sony's ANC buds, sounding noticeably more open, with greater scale than the Momentum 2s. Needless to say, separation of instruments and vocals is some of the best you'll find in true wireless earbuds. Overall, it's a solid 9 out of 10 for sound quality from me. Vocals first isn't my personal preference for casual listening. I like a little bit more bass, though I'm not a massive bass head. So it's a real shame there isn't any custom equalizer settings so I can just tweak things slightly to my personal preference. Funnily enough, I actually prefer the stock straight out of the box sound signature that we're getting with the Bose compared to Sony's ANC buds, but I can easily tweak the Sony's to my liking, and I can't do that with Bose, so it's hard to say that the Bose buds are truly superior here. Overall, the Bose QuietComfort Buds scored a 41 out of 60, which is a 6.8 out of 10 overall, a slightly disappointing experience as a whole, unless you pretend that other similarly priced options out there don't exist. The pros are best ANC you'll find in any true wireless earbuds and excellent sound quality. That's two big wins there. The cons, however, are a dull design and average build, no volume control on the buds, substantially less features, and poor battery life compared to other options at the same price. For the average consumer, you won't be disappointed as long as you can live in the knowledge that you could probably get more for your money elsewhere. But for me, the Sony buds are still the better option here, believe it or not, in every round, apart from ANC of course, which isn't personally that high on my list right now since, you know, we're living in a global pandemic and I can't really travel or leave the house. If build and design wasn't so lacking, and if battery life could be extended significantly, I could maybe begin to forgive the lack of volume controls and custom equalizer settings, but with all of those features available elsewhere for less money, these buds just need a price cut, and fast. Now that you've watched this video, you should definitely check out my comparison video of the Sennheiser Momentum 2s versus the original Momentums by clicking here, or you should probably check out my 5 best true wireless earbuds around $50 here. So pick one of those and I will see you in the next video.